I just start like that. Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, brilliant.
Okay. Well, hi everyone. Thanks for staying up late after all of the presentations. I'm pretty sure that it has been a long day of watching everything. And well, my my presentation will lie under three pillars, which are presenting the joint initiative and the joint collective, which we are developing this research right now. Uh, Having a few words over the Chilean background that raises our questions, and finally to 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 develop some of the elements that we've been preparing on our sessions. So about that, I have to start at first with a personal statement. I'm 26. I'm a hetero cisgender sociologist. I'm a qualitative investigator mastering in quantitative sociology, born and raised in the northeastern part of Santiago, which is a highly segregated capital of a highly unequal and the world's longest country. You can see it by the picture down below. I'm a leftist and I come from the south of the world. And also I'm an associate member A4, A40459 to Colo Colo, which is the biggest sporting club in Chile. And I'm a proud founding associate of the first sporting club social and political studies center of Latin America. Um, which I have to save this occasion to say thanks to everyone out there. So, um, what is Formiga? We named Formiga our collective over the Brazilian football player. It's a joint interdisciplinary initiative on critical social theory and social-cultural Marxian sports studies. We first named it because of the anti-like activism and the public interventions we would like to raise against fascism, against racism, and against fascism. Uh, Secondly, we are developing a bimensional reading seminar of programmed 15 sessions, and we are currently working on the collective research project that I'm going to show you uh, in this presentation. So this is a situational analysis that lies over a toolbox of political and social analysis based upon Marxist social theory, which tries to articulate some things of the real of the social reality and the social praxis that we as political militants or activists develop on our practices. So the situational analysis is an analysis of a situation, of the current situation of the historic and social reality. Then I have to show you these pictures about what is named the October 2019 socialized outburst, which was named vulgarly as Chile despertó, Chile woke up. Here you can see some photos of the massive manifestations and protests over mainly in Santiago, but over the whole country. We can see here, for example, three fans or hinchas of the three main teams of the country which are highly enemisted because of um, all of the hooliganism culture that has arrived to Latin America, named by our sociocultural studies as the aguante culture or the cultura del aguante. And then you can see a photo of an intervention in the public space that says perdimos mucho tiempo peleando entre nosotros, which are translated, we lost too many time fighting between us. With those pictures, I want to state that it has the social outburst of the protest in Chile, starting in October 18th, has risen a common enemy, which is the state, for all the hooligans or for all the football fans or hinchas. You can see here, for example, those photos that show a graffiti which says, regalé mis ojos para que el mundo despierte. I gave up my eyes to the people to rise up. Or those arpilleras that have many eyes, white eyes. In the protest and the contentious episodes of the social outburst, it has been a massive response against police brutality and police mutilation of the people, which they have been firing their bullets and to the eyes of the protesters. And then you can see by the left of the window and below, by one side, the memorial to an hincha assassinated by the special forces of the police, and below a display of a legend that says "Los Pacos los mataron," which is translated "the cops killed them." That refers to El Neco Jorge Mora, which is the hincha being homaged in the memorial, and another one which died of brain damage after a protest against police brutality because of the dying of Jorge Mora, El Neco. Here you can see a photo of the intervention of Coquimbo Unidos hinchas that says calles con sangre, canchas sin fútbol. Streets with blood, fields without football. That is because many years after, many years they spent in the second division of the country, they were playing one of their first football matches in the first division. Even so, a week after the death of Neco, they intervened and violently suspended the game between Coquimbo Unido and Audax Italiano. And as a sort of a synthesis, why we call it the social outburst. First, we have a vulgar concept of the revolt. There's no consensus within the academic field to name what happened since October 18th to March 25th. There's some qualities or some characteristics of the massive protest mobilization that is inorganical and non-partisan, and that it is intensely baroque, exuberating in protest forms, like peaceful carnivals, violent anti-cop self-defense, which has been named the Primera Línea, and common crimes. All of them can coexist within the same physics space or develop in over the whole country. It has been highly chaotic. So first of all, we have to recall some elements of the goals and demands of the movement that are at first the long-standing grievances and the malaise in political representation, which has been resumed in no son 30 pesos, son 30 años. It's not 30 pesos, it's 30 years. That recall on the transition to democracy after the 17-year dictatorship of Augusto Pinochet. And by the other way, which I was saying before, the massive response against state terrorism and police brutality that had killed and mutilated many people, and which had its highlight in a 1.5 million people marching over the renamed Plaza de la Dignidad, which is the the geographical and political center of the city of Santiago. And with this, meaning intensely Baroque, I mean no more nor less intensely Baroque. Here we have a picture of the Negro Matapacos, which is kind of like the mascot or the pet of the mass mobilization that been um, that has been adopted by all the masses since the dog, was rising as a figure of the popular movement after the revolt of 2011 of the student movement, and in the other picture, we can see him being held by Keanu Reeves in the in the character of John Wicks. As you can see here in the little picture below at the left, an angel is holding the book of the Constitution in flames. Why that? Because the 1980 Constitution was implemented by Augusto Pinochet.
Hi, Vicente. Apologies. If you could wrap up your presentation quite soon, just so that we've got some time for questions, that would be brilliant.
Okay.
Thank you.
I will be moving below. So the thing is that the main goals of our situational analysis is to recall as analysis units the present public discourses on the subject of structural fragility of the industry in our nation, based on the event 1, the social outburst, and the event 2, the COVID-19. So by the other way, we will be recalling on the toolbox of situational analysis, the systematic recovery and the reconstruction of events, and the comparison of public positions of the actors involved in the Chilean football's management and organizational network. And we have been working over 5 points. Some analysis of the institutional and the TV aspects of the situation, to the basis of the business model, which we identify are speculation and debt. 3, the phantasmagoric and mystified capital profits who lie over a pact, a neoliberal pact, public order of TV and the professional sports organization, and which we identify with the workers' current situation after the Employment Protection Act, which I couldn't expose, that lie over a massive gender gap on labor conditions and the weakening of unionism and the hindering of bargaining power. And what can we do to move to remake the football societal embeddedness from the pockets of the large business groups and some lonely wolves to the hands of the civil society? That's all. I hope you have liked it, and we thank everyone. And please ask you to follow us on our social media.
Thanks so much.